14. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy. Could've turned out like your homeboy. Being on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road. Take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach screaming bond the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom while you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. Daddy came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that wop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you're lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. BS help me, shout it, let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. There we go. You get my sounds together this evening. Why am I saying morning? It is definitely evening. Happy Thursday to you all. I hope y'all are having a great day, evening. It's like after 8 o'clock now. Hold on. Let me put, I'm risking it going live on TikTok. I am risking it. But I'm telling you right now, like if they try to like remove my live access this week, I'm probably gonna give up on them. I probably am. They play too much. Like they're getting way too sensitive. I don't know what happened after the TikTok shutdown and then reopening, but it seems to me like they've gotten a lot more sensitive these days. TikTok's the new Facebook, and Facebook is the new TikTok because Facebook is not as strict as they used to be. Here we go. Okay. All right. Sorry, y'all. Just have to get a couple things straight here for Facebook. Okay. All right, y'all. Shalom and shalom. How are y'all doing? How is everybody? Shout out to my audience on TikTok. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Please be sure to like and share the live. Today I have a few good things to talk to y'all about. Well, good, interesting topics. Not everything is good to talk about, but the first thing I want to talk about real quick before more people come in here, the Met Gala. The Met Gala. I was so underwhelmed by the Met Gala this year. And as a little girl growing up, I've always looked at the Met Gala as like this beautiful, fabulous event, right? And they always have these elaborate dresses and costumes because it is to benefit the costume displays or the costume department at the Met Gala. They preserve the historical dresses and stuff. And so for this year, I watched the interview on Good Morning America that Anna Wintour did with Michael Strahan, and she's, talking about the event, the theme of the event is tailoring Black style. This was the theme of the event. Now, Anna Wintour did not say that on Good Morning America, which kind of made me give a side eye. Okay. But the theme of the event was tailoring Black style. And I have to say it was very underwhelming. It was underwhelming in terms of some of the dresses and stuff that were worn. They were very boring, it was very much giving prom. It was not giving Met Gala. It was giving prom. And it was just underwhelming. It was disappointing. There was no real attention brought to Black style. There was no real highlighting of Black designers and Black style. It was nothing like it could have been when you're talking about Black style. So totally disappointing. I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in on that. It was totally disappointing. Shalom and shalom, y'all are. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about here. All right. I wanted to kind of go ahead and get this one out the way because it is very sad and it's a very heavy topic. I'm sure you all have heard about the Rodney Hinton case. And just in case you haven't, let me pull it up. I don't know why this thing does not just put all my windows in one place. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to pull it up here. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to read it so I don't get any of what has already been reported wrong. Okay? And honey, I know you told me how to. Okay, boom, there it is. All right, boom, there it is. I figured it out. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read from the article and then discuss, okay? Rodney Hinton Jr., whose son was shot dead by police, denied bond in killing of sheriff's deputy after disturbance in court. Okay, so this was Tuesday. He went to court. Thank you for the likes. This is Tuesday. Mr. Hinton went to court. I guess it was his bail hearing. He was denied bond. Let me read what happened. Rodney Hinton Jr., who authorities say intentionally hit and killed a Ohio sheriff's deputy with a car after his son was fatally shot by police, will remain in jail without bond while he awaits trial for a murder charge. Hinton Jr. was denied bond at a Tuesday court hearing in Cincinnati. He is charged with aggravated murder for the May 2nd killing of Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson. There will be an order of remand with no bond. Please ensure the safety of the defendant and any mental health treatment that can be granted. This is what the judge said at trial. The hearing is the latest development in a case that began last week when Cincinnati police shot and killed Hinton Jr.'s son. Police said that 18-year-old Rodney Hinton was one of 4 men who were fleeing after officers found them in a stolen car and that he was armed when he ran. Hinton Jr.'s attorney entered a plea of not guilty on his client's behalf and requested bail. During the hearing, Bennett asked for Hinton Jr. not to be thought of as a cop killer, but a person with mental illness. Quote from Bennett, "I don't think he was a cop killer. I think he's not in his right mind," Bennett said, "and I think he should be treated like any other mentally ill person that commits a crime under the auspices, control, and authority of a mental defect in the condition." As the hearing began, okay. All right, where are we at? Okay. The Cincinnati Police Department has said his son, Ryan Hinton, appeared to point a gun at an officer while fleeing last week, but the officer's body camera footage does not clearly capture the moment. Sorry, y'all. Oh, okay. After the meeting, Officer Carl Beebe said Hinton Jr. left the parking lot of the police building. Okay, so they had a meeting. They brought them in to view the footage. They brought the family in to view the body cam footage. Okay, so after the meeting, Officer Carl Beebe and Hinton Jr. left the parking lot of the police building and briefly returned before driving away. Hinton Jr. was very distraught after seeing the footage of his son. Really? These ads are so rude. Hinton Jr. was very distraught after seeing the footage of his son. An attorney for the family, Michael Wright, told the Cincinnati Enquirer. Beebe then described the fatal collision. Based on witness statements as well as the video, the vehicle accelerated quickly, proceeded eastbound, crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic directly at where Deputy Hinton was standing and struck the deputy. There was no evidence of skid marks or any other signs indicating Hinton Jr. tried to stop. And here's the deputy that lost his life. Let me just say, like, losing anyone is hard. Okay, listen, y'all with these other names and numbers and all this other stuff, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Where is that coming from? I'm sorry, guys. I hear a noise and I'm just trying to figure out where it's coming from because I'm here by myself. I just want to make sure the frog's not loose. My son's captured a frog today, and I just want to make sure that the frog is not loose, and that's not what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. I don't know what that is. But anyway, okay, back to the story. I don't have anything to say. Any loss of life is sad, okay? But also, how long do you expect Black people to just keep going along with our children being murdered for no reason? Our children, our fathers, our uncles, our dads. How long are we just supposed to sit back and take it? To keep trying to annihilate a whole group of people is an act of war, okay? The problem is that we are still prisoners from the last act of war that was brought against us as a people, right? Which means we are out-armed, outnumbered. We're not in our homeland. We have no resources of our own that we can call upon. And so what do you expect people to do when you put them in a situation where their back is against the wall? For no reason, stop committing crimes and the problem will be solved. So there are people of other persuasions who commit crime on a daily basis and they are not killed. Matter of fact, I don't remember, it was some actor's wife recently was in a standoff with the police. She had a gun in her hand. What is her name? I don't remember whose wife she is. She's somebody's important. She's there. It was their wife. She had a gun in her hand. The police didn't kill her. They shot her. They wounded her, but she did not die. So why is it that when it's a non-Black person on the other end of the gun, the result is not death? The result is a little injury. Or, when they shoot up schools and they stop by Burger King to let them get something to eat before they take them to jail. Why is that the outcome? Like, we can't keep denying that there's a difference in how these things are handled. We've seen videos with white men yielding machetes at police, and they are not killed. They are running. They are fighting them. They are not killed at all. But let a Black person so much as reach for something in his pocket while he's at home. The police had pulled up to the wrong house. Matter of fact, the brother not too long ago, the repo man pulled up to the wrong house. So, of course, the guy come outside. The police came to his house and killed him. How long do you expect people to keep taking that? No accountability for the EBT club. There's 3 people in here, but you are in here too, arguing with yourself. Because, hold on, let's get this blocked. Oop. There you go. Okay, we're just going to block that person because they're being ignorant. But how long do you expect people to keep taking this? Like, prayers for the dad. Like, I'm praying for the dad. And listen here, I'm not cold-hearted to the fact that another family lost their father, uncle, grandfather, whoever he was to them. Like, I really hate that. You know what I'm saying? I really hate that. But also, what about this man that lost his son? What about that? Nobody was going to say anything to him. What were they going to do? Cut him a check? And he's supposed to just be okay with that and walk away with that? No, that's not okay. So praying for him and his family. Angelina, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, y'all, I didn't do any of my intros or anything. I just realized that, okay? So just in case you don't know who I am, I go by Miss Mono's World in these content creator streets, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the places where the content creators be, and I'm on Snapchat. So if you're not following me on Snap, follow me over on the Snap. Please, 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 if you are not on the YouTube, head over to the YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOG MAGAD. That way you can see everything, hear everything, and be a part of the entire show. Download the Nasaya TV app if you have not already on your smart TVs, your Fire Stick. Do people use Fire Sticks anymore? We haven't had a Fire Stick in years. But if you still have one, you can download the Nasaya TV app on there. Your Roku's, your Fire Sticks, your smart TV. There's also a website, NasayaTV.com. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Okay? All right, my next topic. Hold on. Because we need to talk about this statue in Times Square. And I posted about it earlier. And so I had said I was going to save my opinion until the show. Well, the show is here. Let me try to find a good pick for y'all. Okay. The show is here. So we're going to talk about it. All right. Let me share the image with you all so we all can know what we looking at. Brianna, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. All right. Okay. Now, let me just say, as my art appreciation professor taught me in college at Montclair State, there's no right or wrong when it comes to art, okay? Art is subjective to the viewer. The artist gives you what they drew up from their soul, from their creativity, and it is up to you to, decide how you feel about it, okay? So with that being said, can I say that I don't like this statue? I don't like this statue. I feel like this statue perpetrates I don't want to say the worst in Black women, but why is she standing like that? Why does the pose have to be one of anger? Why couldn't this Black woman be joyful? Why couldn't she be smiling? Why couldn't she be surrounded with children? Where she can't have a husband? Like, it's the in this day and age when we as Black women deal with so much negativity and just so much commentary on us, on how we live. I don't understand the artist's motive in portraying this statue in this manner. And you know, they said that it's to be a stark contrast to the statues of white men that are on display. But okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm so glad that I'm not the only one that's offended by this statue. Thank you. If you look at statues of white men, they are not dressed in a t-shirt and jeans. Unless they're trying to portray a disadvantaged white man. Okay? These white men on these statues are on horses. They are in positions or being portrayed to be in positions of power. All right? They got on their little hats. They have something displaying their rank or their importance on their bodies. Why are Black women given this statue and told that this is supposed to represent us? I don't. And here's what I want to say, okay? Because I did see some Black women saying, "Oh, she looks like a regular Black woman. She looks like a regular Black woman." And again, art is subjective, okay? Art is subjective. So I'm not here to tell anyone that they're right or wrong. Me as a Black woman, I'm offended by this image, and I'm going to tell you why it's offensive. It is offensive because of the place that we live in and the what we are taught to associate with images. Okay, here where I'm going here. Okay, this woman, this Black woman, was made plus sized. Okay. And we already know the stigmas out here about Black women. We're obese. We don't work out. We don't take care of our health. We don't care how we look. We're welfare queens with 10 and 12 kids at home and 13 baby daddies. We're angry. We're hostile. We don't know how to act in public. We don't know how to conduct ourselves. So this statue of this alleged Black woman standing with her hands on her hips in a t-shirt and jeans is not what I want representing me as a Black woman. It's not at all. I hate it. Thank you for the likes. Keep tapping that screen. I don't like it. It's disturbing to me. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand that Black people come in all shades. I get that, okay? And I am not trying to be colorist when I say this. But why is everything one color on a statue? Like if this is supposed to be a Black woman, why is everything black? Her shirt is black, her pants are black. When we say we are Black as Black people, we don't mean black as in a crown color. We just call ourselves Black because that's what y'all started calling us. Not as in a crown color. I'm sorry, this statue is trash. They can take it down. They can take it down. I never need to see it again. Is that Lizzo? I don't think that's supposed to be Lizzo. It could very well pass for Lizzo. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm ready for them to take it down. It's only supposed to be temporary. They can take it down now as far as I'm concerned. I hate that thing. I hate it. As if we don't have a hard enough time, being represented accurately. And again, we're not all the same shade, right? So I guess when you're building a statue of a white person, you don't have to consider the different shades of white people. But when you're building a statue and you're saying that it represents Black women and you make it as dark as you possibly can, come on, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Nano. Shout out to my audience on TikTok. I'm telling you right now, if TikTok play with me and take away my live access this week because somebody feels like they didn't like something that I said because it doesn't go with what they believe or what they feel, I'm done with TikTok. And I mean that. I'm so done with them. Like, they make it so hard to monetize. They just, it's ridiculous. I'm tired of them. So we'll see. I may or may not be back next week, but if I don't come back, I will be live on IG. All right, so our next topic, y'all's president is wildin'. And I called him y'all's president. Y'all's president is wildin', okay? We already know that the economy is suffering. People are complaining about the prices going up. I saw a news story today about local in-home daycare centers are now struggling to pay for food and supplies. People are being laid off of their jobs and therefore they can't afford daycare anymore, right? So who's suffering? The daycare workers. So they're supposed to be like daycare owners going to the Capitol to bring awareness to this and to ask for the government to step in and offer childcare assistance for private daycares, okay? And as a parent who has older children, like I have some 20-year-olds and then I have a 7 and a 9-year-old, like the price of daycare these days is freaking ridiculous. It is ridiculous, okay? But then on top of that, Trump wants to replace grocery aid for seniors with MAHA food boxes. And just in case you don't know what MAHA is, that is Make America Healthy Again, okay? He wants to replace grocery aid with these boxes. And so I don't think I need to read through it. I think I can pretty much explain to y'all what's going on, okay? And let me stop sharing this because freaking ads are so invasive. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the deal with the MAHA boxes, okay? Right now with grocery aid, EBT, whatever kind of help seniors are getting, they can go and get the food that they can safely prepare and that they want and need, okay? You have to think about senior citizens and what they cannot do with limited mobility, all right? They want to take away the aid that will allow them to get the food that they want and the food that they know that they can prepare for themselves. And they want to replace it with fresh produce, fresh farm produce, fresh fruits and vegetables, and you know, all this healthy stuff that's supposed to be good for you. And that is great. And on the surface, it sounds great. But when you consider the limitations of some seniors who may live alone, or even some of those who may, you know, be able to have a little help, who has time, resources, energy, availability to prepare all of this food from scratch for them if they can't do it themselves? And so now they're going to take away their ability to go and get the food that they want and the food that they know that they can prepare and that they can eat and say, here, we're going to give you these vegetables and you figure out what to do with it. How is that fair? How is this okay? And like, we need to pay attention to this because we're not the seniors now, but Lord willing, we will grow up to be the seniors. And you mean to tell me that instead of me getting a voucher or whatever so that I can go and pick up my food, you just gonna send me a box of vegetables and I gotta make do with that? If you did not grow up making fresh vegetables and cooking fresh food from scratch, it's going to be hard to do that when you're in your 60s, 70s, especially if you're alone. And so let me tell y'all know I don't do the whole, like, I don't participate in the whole national politics thing, okay? But I'm a believer in the truth is the truth. No matter who says it, no matter who's doing it, the truth is the truth. And this is a bad idea. This sucks. That is true. Government assistance for CCDF has already been cut off and for a lot of parents who really need it. I don't see, but then it's sad because when you try to talk about multi-generational living, people don't want to hear that. And it's not so much because it's not a cool thing or a trendy thing. Um, man, I heard someone say a long time ago, Black people don't have the privilege of not liking each other because we need each other, right? So we really we should be the last people fighting with each other because we need each other to make it. Like, needing the government for childcare wouldn't be an issue if we was staying in a house with grandma, grandpa, aunties, uncles, and cousins. Somebody worked the night shift, somebody stay at home with the kids during the day, but we won't work together. You see what I'm saying? This is the end result of tearing apart the Black family. We don't know how to come together when we need to. I fear for the future for a lot of Black people because we don't know how to work together. We don't know how to respect authority. We want to come up in people's house and tell them what to do. We want to feel like we the only last one. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you something. As somebody who's worked in the medical field, and I have a lot of customer service experience, I hate to see a Black woman coming. I hate to see a Black woman coming. We, for some reason, can really put our behind on our shoulders and make life hard for the people around us. Okay. I've had patients who have complained about me because I didn't move fast enough to bring her a pillow, and it was a Black lady. I have had patients complain about the stupidest little minute thing that someone else wouldn't even care about, and it's always a Black woman. I was suspended from my job because of a Black woman that I knew. I went to high school with her niece. Me and her niece were best friends, okay? Best friends. I done been at this woman's house, seen me at graduation and everything else. She came in to get her procedure. Now, granted, yes, it was a HIPAA violation. I'm not saying it wasn't a HIPAA violation. It was a HIPAA violation. I'm talking to her niece, who is my friend. And she's telling me, like, yeah, my aunt told me she seen you, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, she came here, get her eyes did, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. She calls my boss, complains to my boss, gets me suspended from my job. Now, mind you, I have kids at the time, okay? So this is days off work without any pay. I think it was like a week or two. Then she comes back later. I'm so sorry. I may have overreacted. I didn't really mean that. I've known Ray Shanette forever, and I know she didn't mean anything by you, raggedy heifer. Are you serious? And this is the stuff that I be talking about. Like, we have got to do better. What if I would have been fired from my job? And see, this is the problem. I had said I was going to save this conversation for another day, but since we're here, I feel like we can get into it. The problem, a lot of the problem is that we're too emotional. We're too emotional about stuff. Cheap wig. Oh, I don't even have wigs. These are braids, honey. Bye-bye. I don't know why all the haters come into my live tonight. Okay, yes, please, community, flag these comments because these people is tripping. We have to stop being so emotional about things. We do. We have to stop being so emotional and getting so riled up at every little thing, okay? Amongst us, right? We love to scream Black people aren't a monolith, Black people aren't a monolith, but we expect every Black person to act the same. We expect every Black person to do things the same way that we do. And if they don't, now there's something wrong with their Blackness. They're not as Black as we are. They don't keep it real. They not, you know what I'm saying? Whatever kind of lame, corny things some of us will come up with to exclude those who we feel like are weird or don't conform to what we think they should be, right? And then when you talk about in professional settings, the power tripping that takes place when a Black person feels like they're in authority, again, as someone who worked in the medical field, hating to see a Black woman coming because they come in here with this attitude like, you're here to serve me. I'm spending my money here. You need to do whatever I say do. Not realizing that, baby, when you leave here, you're going to a job too. Do you want somebody coming up in your job acting like this? And then on the other hand, with dealing with others, thank you, Tierra. Thank you for the likes. And then on the other hand, with dealing with others, we have to stop letting them get us so riled up. Okay. Every time someone shoots off the N-word, we should not care. This lady, Shiloh, whatever her name is, and I think it's in Ohio, that has I think she's at like $700,000 in some kind of off-brand GoFundMe, because GoFundMe wouldn't host it. Some kind of off-brand GoFundMe for calling that 5-year-old autistic child the N-word. She's raised $700,000 from donations. And I keep seeing Black people comment under the post. Why? Do y'all not understand how social media works? Even in expressing your anger, you are giving life to the subject. Your comment is saying, hey, I want to see more stuff like this. This is why they purposely post provocative images, provocative stories, things to get you riled up with race baiting, because it's what you respond to. You don't respond to the positive post. You don't respond to the happy Black people post. You don't respond to this Black child made the honor roll. This Black child got accepted into this many colleges. You don't respond to the happily married post. And I know, because I can post anything. I can post anything. And if it's about some mess, it's going up. But let me post me and my happily married husband, and I can count on one hand the people that are going to comment and appreciate it. But if I got on here all day telling y'all how my husband beats me and abuses me and I need help getting out because we're poor and he's so mean to me, oh, please, I'd be internet famous by now, but maybe not, because I'm not white. Maybe not. Let me get to some of these comments. But nah, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me, sis. Better late than never, boo. Better late than never. Man, we need to stick together more than ever, but it's almost impossible. There are a few. It is, and you know what? And it is impossible. Like, we can't ignore what the Bible says about us. We are a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. And there are always going to be those among us who are too eager to sell us out. And it's hard. You know what I'm saying? 1/3 is not a lot. Okay? When you look at a third, divide a pie in thirds. 1/3 is not a lot. Okay? And if you know, you know. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. But we can't get people to respond to like and share our content. Exactly. They don't. But if you was up here freaking twerking, or if you was walking with your behind facing the camera, they be all tuned in for that. They would share that. They would like that. If you and your husband was sitting up here arguing, you know what I can't stand? There's this podcast. I'm all going off, but I'm going to go back to what I was supposed to be talking about. There's this podcast called Dear Future Wifey. And I'm convinced that this podcast's only job is to make marriage look bad in the Black community, because every clip they release, and even if you go back and watch the videos from the clip, it is very uncomfortable to hear about how some of these men talk about their women. Okay? The latest clip is some man talking about how his wife wasn't his preference. How he liked everything totally opposite of her, but this is who God told me to marry, so this is who I married. You ain't gotta say that. You don't have to say that. And I'm sitting right here by you, the woman that got on here and told y'all how God told her to iron her husband's clothes before he went out with his side chick. It's not upholding Black marriage at all. It's making Black marriage a joke. Okay? I'm tired of it. I hate those posts that try to provoke you to anger, rage, or sadness. I just keep scrolling now. And that is the best thing to do. Like, just keep scrolling. And you will be surprised at how fast your algorithm changes to something else. Okay? But just stop responding to it. Stop feeding into it. Don't give into the anger. Because it just breeds more anger. And all they're going to do is keep bringing you this stuff. Like, oh, you mad about that? Let me get something else to be mad about. So, I agree. Yes. And I'm going to do the same thing. Like, I'm going to make extra sure that I just don't respond to it. Yes. I don't know if you saw it. It was out a few weeks ago. The podcast is called Dear Future Wifey. Gosh, I don't remember the name of the couple, but yeah, the lady was on there talking about how her husband was cheating on her. He was telling her he didn't love her. He was telling her he wish he never married her. And she just came on there talking about, well, he said he didn't love me, but I was praying for God to keep us together even while he was yelling at me. And he would tell me that he's going out with his side chick, and I would pack his clothes and iron his clothes and get his clothes ready for him to go with her for the weekend. See, but this feeds into the narrative that Black love has to be in its lowest form. That the only way a Black woman can be loved is if she takes abuse from a Black man. And now hear me out, okay? You're going to have problems in your marriage. You're going to. You're two separate people trying to come together as one. Okay, you've had two separate lives the whole time until the moment you decided to come together. Okay, so yes, you're going to have problems. You're going to have arguments. We're going to have disagreements. But sir, you got one time to tell me you wish you would have never married me and you hate me and I need to go. My mama always told me never make a man tell you more than once that he don't want you. You ain't got to tell me no more. You don't have to tell me no more. And as a matter of fact, I think I watched too much Lifetime and Oxygen and stuff because I be scared. I would be too scared that you're going to flip out and, try to take me out. So no problem, buddy. I'll leave. I will leave. I can't deal with that. But how did we get here from the freaking My Hot Boxes? I don't know. But check on your family. Check on your seniors around you. Like, honestly, it's our goal to buy enough land to be able to build a few houses on our land so that to build a few houses on our land so that our kids can come and live there when it's time for them. And, when it's time for our parents to need help, they could just come and, move to their own little in-law suite or whatever, and we can be there to help them. So, I think that's where we all need to be turning to. We all really need to be focusing on self-preservation right now, because as you can see, the government is changing. I don't know how many of you all have researched the Great Reset or read anything about it, watched a couple of videos about it, but, check it out. They've been talking about it for a while. Check it out and just kind of, take from it what you will on how to prepare your family, okay? Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Let me see, was that? Oh, yes. One thing. I love it too. I love it too. It's like, it's better than being all in one house, right? Okay, being all in one house is fine. But if you can have a family compound, that way when you start getting on my nerves, you can go to your house, but you don't really have to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you go to your house and cool off. I'm gonna go to my house and cool off, and we'll come together for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So yes, I would love a family compound. That is in our prayers and our goals. So yes. Okay. Oh, another thing that happened. I don't have a clip for it, but so there's this letter on Facebook. It was sent anonymously, of course, by a woman. No, it was a man. The man was saying that he was dating a woman with a child. He was dating a woman with a 3-year-old, and he only wanted to date the woman. He didn't want to be bothered with her child, right? So they're dating, whatever. And now he's at the house with the kid and the mom. And the mom's like, hey, I have to run to the store. Can you watch the kid? Something. She had to leave the house. She asked him to watch the kid. And he was like, that's not my kid. I'm not his stepdad. I'm not watching him. You take him with you, or you call his father, or something crazy like that. And of course, here's the great debate, right? Should a man date a woman with, or should anyone date someone with kids if you don't want to be bothered with kids. I have ran into men who didn't want to be bothered with children from the women that they were dating, okay? I've had some of those men try to talk to me. Let me be honest with y'all, okay? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have not always dated, in quotes, dated. I've not always dated for marriage, okay? And so at the time when I was not dating for marriage, I didn't want my kids around you either. Like, bro, we're here for a good time, not a long time, okay? And so I always had enough sense to keep them away from my kids, but I must say they always had enough sense to not be around my kids. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what baffled me about this letter. It's like, if you know you don't want to be involved with somebody's children, why would you go around them in the first place? That was my whole discrepancy, because the mother should have known better. The mother should have known better, okay? So as a woman, let me say, if you are dating for marriage, which you should be dating for marriage, righteously, you should be dating for marriage. If you're not dating for marriage, go sit down and take a cold shower, okay? When you are dating for marriage, it is impossible to consider dating anyone who doesn't want to be involved with your children. And I'm just going to say, for me, once I started seriously trying to get married, someone without children was out of the question for me. I had already had 3 children of my own. I wasn't trying to get with someone who didn't know how to be a father or who wasn't interested in being a father, okay? I know you're entitled to your preferences, blah, blah, blah. It's your life. You can do what you want to do. Just me personally, I wouldn't entertain somebody who didn't have kids if I have kids already. And then you definitely cannot tell me you don't want to be bothered with my children and think that you're going to be bothered with me in any kind of real capacity. So, no, it was just, both of them was wrong. Both of them was wrong. Yes, call the baby. Call the daddy. Tell the daddy come get the baby, because the mama is tripping too. Okay? All right. Okay. Let's get to our main topic. Modesty. Okay? Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. They think you're going to push them kids out the way for them. I think not. I know that's right. Where they going? That's my kid. And then it's the mama. Okay? It's the mom. Where's the kid going? Nowhere. Stop it. And why would you want anybody that would do that anyway? That's another thing. Ma'am, sis, cousin, if he's not taking care of his children, I heard, who was I listening to? Gosh, leave. Waka Flocka, I think. Waka Flocka did an interview, and they asked him, if your wife was drowning and your child was drowning, who would you save first? And he said that he would save his wife first, okay? He went on to explain, this is my wife. I love her. I'm going to grow old with her. My child is their own separate person, you know, but I'm supposed to grow old with my wife. He was like, so I would save my wife. And of course, the women were in an uproar. Why wouldn't you say my child? Why wouldn't you say my child? Blah, 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 blah. And so whoever was discussing the interview was saying how a man will love a set of children based on how much he loves the mother. That's why a man could have 4 or 5 kids with one woman and up and leave, because he doesn't feel anything for the mother anymore. And that can affect the way he treats those children, because he's now more attentive to the children of the woman that he is in love with. Men, please chime in on this. I don't know how you guys look at it from your point of view. And this was a woman breaking this down. So, you know, I don't take anything a woman says about a man as gold unless a man will back it up. Okay. Just like y'all shouldn't be taking anything men say about women as gold unless a woman has confirmed this for you. So, the idea, or the idea behind his answer, was that a man's love for children is attached to the mother and how they love the mom. I'm not saying that's right. That is totally wrong. My husband was very much a part of his children's lives their whole life. Okay. So it was never a push away. It was never not do for this group and only do for that group. That was never an issue when we blended our family. right? And so let me say that if a man is not taking care of his current children, run from him. Not only does the Bible talk about a man who does not take care of his family, he calls him, the Bible calls him a heretic, and he's worse than an infidel. If he is not taking care of his kids by someone else, he's not going to take care of any kids that he has with you. At the end of the day, it does not matter how you feel about the mother. Those are your children. Just like as a mother, I can't change the way I treat my kids based on how I feel about their father. That's not fair to the child, and that's not acceptable. Okay? So if you catch that, if you peep that, girl, run. Run. That is an internal conflict. Okay? That's something that he has to deal with on his own. Sheer said that may have some validity. Okay. We'll take it. Okay. I trust the brother Sheer. Okay. But I think that, so at this point, it's kind of like a self-control thing. Like, I know I have to take care of these children, so I'm going to take care of them. Yes, it may be easier to deal with the children of the woman that you love because she loves you too. So, the relationship is easier. It's going to be smoother, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, girl, if he's not trying to be involved with your kids, or if he's not trying to be involved with his own kids, run, okay? Skip, hop, and jump away from him, okay? All right. If you like what I'm saying, or if you would like to be part of the ministry efforts here at the House of Mono, please head over to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono. Also, if you look on the bottom of this video, you should see a little part where it says send stars. Please, if you would like to show some support, go ahead and click those stars. Send me a couple, every little bit helps. $1 or $2 will do. That's what we say here. I appreciate y'all in advance, and thank you to everyone who gives already. There are some of you who have been faithfully donating to this ministry, and I really, really appreciate it. Okay. His followers said those men are probably sorry, but he could see how that happened. Okay. And I'm not going to lie, I could see it too. Because like when I break up with somebody, I'm done with everything with them. I don't want to see your dog, your cat, your fish, your frog. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. And it's hurtful. Like as somebody who's been through a divorce, it's hurtful when a relationship ends. And sometimes, yeah, that does get taken out on the child. So I could definitely see how that happens as well. Thank you, Sheer. It's naturally easier to love on the kids when you love the mom. Not that you love them less if you don't like the mom, but y'all bad relationship will put a strain on your relationship. It will. Like, and here's the other thing we can't deny. Moms talk to their kids. So while you going through the breakup or the divorce or whatever, and you still in your feelings, you're going to talk junk. Your kids are seeing you hurt. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it does for so many reasons. But I feel like as mature adults, as mature mothers, it is our job to make sure that relationship with our child's father, if it is viable, stays consistent, and stays fluent for the benefit of the child. Unfortunately, some of us just don't ever get out of our feelings to do what's right for our kids. But yeah. What the fish do? What did the fish do? Tell me, Banath. I'm not sure. I think I missed it. Okay, all right. Let's get to our main topic. We're going to talk about modesty. All right. Hold on. Let me take a sip, y'all, because y'all be wearing me out arguing about this. Y'all wear me out with this modesty argument. Okay. So I wanted to approach it, of course, from an analytical standpoint, because let's find out what modesty really is, right? We talk about it. So on our simple Google search here, we can see that modesty is defined as the quality or state of being unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities, the quality of being relatively moderate, limited, or small in amount. And this is the definition I would like to focus on: behavior, manner, or appearance intended to avoid impropriety or indecency. Let me say that again. Behavior, manner, or appearance intended to avoid impropriety or indecency. Okay? And so let if you remember why we as women are called to be modest in the first place, to dress modest in the first place, is to keep our brothers from lusting. Okay? So it's not pointless, right? And what I need us to do is I need us to stop acting like men don't have eyes, like they don't have sex drives, and like they're not supposed to be attracted to our bodies. Like y'all wonder why men don't like women anymore. It's because y'all walk around like they're not supposed to like you. You walk around acting like they're not supposed to like you. You walk around acting like, oh, I'm going to display all my sex organs, but don't you dare respond. And you're a monster and a creep if you respond. We're supposed to keep that covered up to prevent that from happening. Okay. So the argument becomes when some women consider themselves I don't want to say the gatekeepers of modesty. They consider themselves the modesty police. They're the officials of modesty, and they're here to tell everyone when they're modest or not, right? Listen, what you define as modesty in your household, if you're married, between yourself and your husband, or even yourself, is on you. Okay, that is on you. However far you want to take it. Some women feel like they have to wrap up their hair. Some women feel like their skirts, should be to their ankles and everything should be loose and flowy. And that's cool. Like I've seen some women do that very beautifully. That's fine. Okay. But what I need us to stop doing is to stop punching down on other women who don't necessarily subscribe to our model. Now, I'm not saying that there should not be any form of modesty. That is not what I'm saying at all. Okay. I believe there is a line. There is a hard line between modest and not modest. Okay. Me personally, if I'm going to wear shorts, I prefer Bermuda shorts, the ones that go down to your knees. Okay. You're not gonna catch me out in Dukes, not in public. You're not ever going to see me in anything so short that you can see the part on the back of my leg where it starts to turn darker before it turns into, y'all know what I'm saying. When it's right under the cheek and you can see the little shaded part. Yeah, you're never, no, that's going too far. There should not be a hint of your sexual body parts. Okay. And for clarity, I'm talking about your behind, your front parts, your breast. I don't walk around with my stomach out. I don't feel like that's modest. Okay. For me, neck to knees. Neck to knees. Now I will wear a sleeveless shirt. I'm not talking about, arms like this is because it's cold. Okay. I'm cold where I'm at. So this is why I got on this sweater. And now I'm not going to walk around like this in the summer. You understand what I'm saying? So neck to knees for me. And again, it's up to you to decide how you operate within the confounds of modesty. And what I don't like how we will try to add things to what the Bible says about modesty, or try to extract meaning that may not be there. Okay. The Bible does talk about adorning yourself on the inside, and please understand, I'm not trying to be offensive. Okay. Whether you're listening live or on the replay, the last thing I want to do is offend anyone. Okay. Because the whole point of doing this is to win souls, to bring you more awareness about your relationship with God to kind of, help you maneuver that relationship. So the last thing I ever want to do is offend anyone. So please, if anything I say offends you, I apologize in advance, okay? But it has been a notice of mine that it's usually the women who choose to go down to bare skin who have a problem with anyone doing anything else. Okay. And now listen, it's your prerogative. Like if you feel like, you don't need makeup and here's another point. Okay. Because I have talked to some women who said that they just can't handle any attention. Like they're happily married, but they can't handle attention from any men. And so they will purposely bare skin. And I mean, when I say bare, I mean bare as in no makeup. They won't do anything to their hair. They're just kind of keep themselves understated. Okay. And if that's your struggle, by all means, please do what you need to do, sis, please. But when you talk about modesty as a behavior, I can honestly say men don't approach me. No, they don't approach me. They look. And here's T. I don't know that they're looking because I stare them in their faces. Okay. That's something y'all gotta understand. Y'all cannot be walking around wide-eyed looking at everything. Every time you see a man, you scanning them up and down. Does that sound like modest behavior? Or does that sound like you're out here acting wanton? As in, you want to be approached. You want this man's attention. Men look, but they don't approach me. Okay? Because I don't look back. Like I'm here doing what I'm doing. I'm minding my business. I just don't give off that energy anymore of come approach me, come talk to me. Now, I'm not rude. If he work up the nerve to say hi, how you doing? And I keep going about my business. I don't even know what you look like because I'm not even looking in your face. See, this is I don't know if I just grew up around like some freaking horse or what, but it has been my experience that men don't need a lot of coaxing to start talking to you. It also been my experience that the only thing keeping a man from crossing a line with you that he should not cross is you approaching him. Right? This is why I've kind of always been hands off. Like if a dude want to talk to me, he's going to talk to me. I'm not stepping up. I don't want to encourage anybody to lie. Okay? So I'm not looking you in your face. I'm not stopping to talk. I'm not slowing down what I'm doing. If I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. I don't speak unless spoken to. I'm not all smiling. Hey, no. If I'm at Kroger, I'm at Kroger about my business. Leave me alone. Okay, this is your attitude. This is about your behavior. Yes, it has to do with how you're dressed, but more importantly, I want you to know if you're struggling with your modesty component and how it looks for you, again, unless you know that you have a problem with any kind of male attention, I don't feel that you have to strip yourself of everything that makes you you. You don't have to stop doing things that make you feel good about yourself. You do not have to stop getting your hair done. You do not have to stop wearing makeup. Okay? Now, this gym modesty thing has been a hot topic lately. People have been complaining about how women are dressing in the gym and they're dressing too scantily for the gym, and it's causing problems with men and everything else. Now, there are some sisters who have taken to dressing modestly in the gym. Go y'all, like y'all go. But I know that I want to be comfortable when I work out, so I work out at home. I work out at home. I work out right in the comfort of my home where I can wear what I want and I don't have to worry about anything. The only person that's going to be oogling me is my husband, and he's supposed to anyway. Okay? So don't try to use things as excuses. Don't try to be like, oh, well, I need to check my form, so I have to wear these tight shorts. I need to make sure I'm doing this right. So I have to wear this sports bra so I can check on my abs. Those are just excuses. You don't have to dress like that to go to the gym. You don't have to dress like that to know your form. All right, just do the freaking squat in your sweatpants and your t-shirt and you'll be fine. Like it's ridiculous. I have the worst RBF, so men generally don't approach me. Women don't either for that matter. Right, exactly. The RBF will scare them off every time. I don't know, maybe I have RBF too, and I don't know. I was told that before that I do have RBF, but oh well. I don't think it's RBF, so to say. I think it's just that who walks around smart. And why I gotta walk around like that all the time? Like, this ain't the freaking show. I'm not shucking and jiving for y'all. Anyway, um, so yeah, so and this is again, it's hard to discuss because I don't want to offend anybody, right? But I also don't want newcomers, or I don't want women who are really trying to live modestly to be discouraged, right? Because when you step into something and it seems like, okay, now we have to take everything from you that you enjoy, it's like, dang, I can't do nothing. I can't do anything at all that I like, that I used to like. I can't decorate myself the way I want to. I can't express myself. I can't look what is presentable to me. And I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. Y'all gonna pry this hair and this makeup out of my cold dead hands, okay? I'm not doing that. Not to mention, I have a husband to keep entertained. I can't be walking around here. No. Anyway, so listen, okay? If you come from a stance of what I would consider extreme modesty, um I would like you to remember that it is up to us to work out our own salvation, right? Again, I'm not saying there shouldn't be a line. Neck to knees at least. If you want to get super, neck to calf. Because I remember growing up in church, your skirt had to be below your knees. All right. And the first lady's skirt used to be at her calves. All right. I remember these things, right? I grew up in a holiness church. And I remember a time when we were not allowed to wear pants to church at all. You couldn't wear pants. You better not come in with no red lipstick, no red nails. You better keep that makeup to a minimum. Right. And so when people would come from the world into the church, they would have to deal with all this culture shock of like, you're trying to take everything from me that makes me me. And it caused them to rebel. Right. And so now you have people rebelling against what I'm going to call unnecessary outward appearances of holiness, to the point then that the church turned around and did an about face and was letting people come to church looking any kind of way now. And that's not, there has to be a line that has to be drawn. And if we say we the people of the book, and we are the church, then we have to be willing to toe that line and say, no, we can't tolerate this in here. You're not sitting at the front of the church with that skirt all up by your thighs. Here you go. Have a seat in the back where nobody can see it or be distracted. Just because the men are in the pulpit does not mean that they don't have eyes. And just because you intend to sit there with your legs crossed, don't act like temptation can't, you know what I'm saying? Step in like that. Our foremothers in the Bible dressed themselves up so they can miss me with that. Thank you. Like, have y'all read about Judith? She was so beautiful. She just distracted the enemies of Israel. There have been Rachel. She was so beautiful. Jacob went through all that he went through to be with her. I don't recall any woman in the Bible being described as homely or frumpy or undone. Okay? So listen, now you do the best you can with what you have. Ma'am, sis, cousin, you saying, look, I'm just coming out the world. I need time to build my wardrobe up. That's fine. But when you have on something that's a little edgy, you know what I'm saying? At least try to go get you maybe some longer shorts. Get you some biker shorts to throw on up under there. Wear a jacket. Put on a sweater. I know it's summertime, but hey, if you saying all I got is this crop top and I can't go get me no decent t-shirts right now, put on a hoodie. Put on a sweater. If it's your intent to be decent, I know from my experience that God will honor your intentions. And he'll provide and make a way for that. They have standards that they were force feeding. What you mean? They had standards that they were force feeding. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to find this thing on. Like, I hate this. I hate this new confirmation that they do because it's all camouflagey or whatever. Okay. Right. Abraham had, oh, yes. Thank you so much. Abraham had to lie because Sarah was beautiful. Hit her in the trunk. Lied and told the king that was his sister and almost had an entire empire struck down. Okay, so it never gave ugly. It never gave undone. It never gave unkept. And if you look in the law, there are rules about combing your hair, taking a bath, washing yourself. When you go out and you represent God and you say that you represent God, I don't think y'all really understand the effect that you have on other people. You say you're a Christian, I'm an Israelite and I'm this and I'm that. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Some of y'all have me embarrassed to call myself an Israelite. And I'm talking to the women. Some of y'all have me embarrassed to call myself an Israelite. The way that you condemn, the way that you argue, fuss, and fight on social media about issues that do not pertain to salvation. These braids are not going to keep me out of heaven, nor is this eyeshadow, foundation, or primer. None of that is going to keep me out of heaven. But how will you answer for the souls that you caused to turn away because of your nastiness and your rudeness? And let me just say, it's never the girls that do. It's never the makeup girls. It's never the nail girls. It's never the hair girls coming down on other women saying, well, if you don't get your hair done and if you don't wear your makeup and if you don't wear your nails, then you can't call yourself saved. It's never us. It's never us. And it kind of makes it come off like some of y'all are not happy with the way you choose to present yourself if you chose that. Now, shameless plug, my book, Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass, 8 questions to consider while waiting. I'll show it to y'all when we're done here. My book talks about knowing what you believe before you get married, okay? Because once you are married, you are under your husband's tutelage. In my book, I tell this story. Me and my husband were at an event. I think it was a Passover party. Yeah, it was a Passover pre-party. And you know what I'm saying? I put it on, honey. I put it on. Like, I was cute, okay? I had my heels on, my dress. I was cute, right? So another sister walks up to me and she's like, your husband lets you wear heels? Your husband lets you wear makeup? Yeah. What you mean? Like, what? Yeah. That's my husband don't. He feel like, that's not modest and I shouldn't be wearing that stuff. It'll bring too much attention to me. I'm sorry to hear that. There's nothing I could say. That's your husband. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing that anybody could say. That's that man's household, and that's how he chooses to run that household. This is why it's important to know what you believe before you get married. Because if you already understand what modesty is to you and you know what you believe and what you don't believe, when you're courting and you're going through this process and he starts talking to you about your hair, your nails, and how you dress, and it's not aligning with what you already believe, then you already know this is not going to work. This is not going to work for me. I don't want to walk around looking like that. That is oppressive to me. And so I need not marry this man because that's not the guidelines that I want to follow for my life. And so, you know what I'm saying? If these are rules that your husband has made, then ma'am, sis, cousin, this conversation is not for you. This conversation is not for you. Please kindly exit the building. Like I mean that. I'm so serious, because anything that I ever say to any woman is never meant to contend with, to be, don't you go to your husband and talk about Miss Mono said nothing. I don't play those games. I do not play like that. My husband is the head of my household. What he says goes. Now, the way that looks in my household might be different from yours. My husband is not a tyrant. Okay? I can't think of a time when he just came and put down something and was like, no, that's it, and wasn't willing to hear my side and take my side into consideration if it made sense. If it made sense. I can't come to my husband and talk him into any and everything. It got to make sense. It got to be backed up in facts. It has to be evident what I'm saying. Okay? So I'm not telling you to go in here and play any games or anything like that. All right? So I just wanted to make that clear real quick. If your husband laid down the law on modesty, then this talk ain't for you. Okay? All right. Driving people away. So many women are hurt out here. We see women fighting in the street, twerking at restaurants, chasing men down, tearing up. Like, we see women crashing out every day online. And I'm here to tell you, you cannot take somebody who's used to a crash out baddie lifestyle and tell them, okay, you got to get rid of all of that in order to be considered righteous. You will turn them away. And I feel like, from what I've read in the Bible, then the blood is on your hands, because that was totally unnecessary. When new Christians come into the church, holiness and Adventists turn people off by force feeding them the standards they didn't biblically share the reason to be modest. Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Right. And that's a problem. I'm one of them people. You're not just going to tell me to do something. I need to know why you're telling me to do this. And I think that causes a lot of problems in church, even for those of us who grew up in church, again, because they're just telling you do this, but you're not telling me why. You're not explaining why I need to do this. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we know now, but why not tell me so then I'll understand, like, oh, this is for my protection. It's to prevent any indecency or impropriety. And now I'm going to say this. I know some of y'all might not like me saying this, but I'm going to say it, okay? Just because you are told to put on clothes when a man is around does not mean that man is a pervert. It means that man is a man. And we don't want to cause him to go into lust for any reason. Do y'all understand? It's like y'all don't understand how thoughts work. Okay, let me wrap this up. I got 12 minutes. My husband told me stop going overtime. We may have to continue this next week. Let's see. It's like y'all don't understand how thoughts work. Like, you have never had an intrusive thought. Like, you have never had a thought that you had to stop and get control of. You think the same thing doesn't happen to men? Why do you feel like, oh, well, I'm going to just let him deal with what's going to happen instead of let me prevent the impropriety or indecency before it even has a chance to take root? Your uncle not a perv. He's a man. Put some dang on clothes on. Not only that, if you give your daughter the impression that it's okay to be half naked around a man in her house, in her family that's not her husband, what is to stop her from walking out looking the same way? How are you going to explain to her, oh, you can dress like this in front of certain men, but not other men? It don't work like that. Once a girl gets used to being naked or half naked around men, the line it doesn't exist anymore. Because if I can do it with my father's uncles and cousins, then I can run to the store and do it. It's no problem. We have got to stop being stiff-necked and hard-headed. We'll complain about all the molestation and rape that goes on in the Black community, but we refuse to do anything about it. You know what's one of the first things you can do about it? Put some clothes on. Stop listening to these liberals and these feminists who really don't care about you and don't care about your soul. The Bible tells you why you're supposed to dress modestly. Google tells you why you're supposed to dress modestly, but we won't listen. It's like if I keep telling you the iron is hot, and you touch it, but the problem is y'all touch the iron, get burnt, and want to come back to the people who told you that the iron was hot in the first place to heal you. Now you want somebody to go through this trauma with you and be all patient and understanding with you. And I'm not talking as someone who hasn't made these same mistakes. I've been violated. I had no business in the place that I was wearing what I was. I'll take accountability for my part in that, because if I wouldn't have been there, if I would have been in the will of God, that would have never happened to me. It's time for us to wake up and be able to admit that. Those of us who that is true for. Listen, when my family member tried to touch me, that wasn't my fault. I was with my family. That is not my fault. But when the stranger at the party, well, he wasn't a stranger. But when the person at the party that I wasn't supposed to be at, that I can take my part in that. I set that up. I did not do what God told me to do to prevent the indecency from occurring in the first place. We have got to stop acting like we live in this totally PC society where everybody's following these imaginary rules where women can just walk around looking how they want and nothing's supposed to happen. You can't turn that off and on, because the minute you get in a relationship, the minute you get married, now all of a sudden you want the sexiness to work. You can't turn the sexiness off and on. Y'all go out here and get these BBLs and all of a sudden want to show everybody. And I get it. You spent 10, 20K or whatever on your body, 5K, 1K, whatever you spent on your body. You spent the money on your body. I would probably want to show it off too. But my goodness. Whatever happened to just going in the gym and whatever God gave you is what God gave you? Your wife isn't your slave. Your wife is not your slave. Period. Nothing else to add to that. That's between you and your husband. Exactly. That is between you and your husband. You got to know what you want and what you don't want before you get married. It's too late once you're already married to come to the man talking about, well, I don't really agree with that. The time to take care of that was when you was courting. But some of y'all get so hot in the pants, and or some of y'all are just looking for a place to live, someone to pay your bills and take care of you and or your children. You just shack up and call yourself married to anybody. And like I said in my book, you will find yourself participating in behaviors that you are not okay with. Thank you for the answer. Paxton! And, who's Paxton? Atticus, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I got 6 minutes. Let me go through these comments. All I heard was you can't get into heaven dressing like that. Exactly. That's what they used to tell you all the time, right? I remember when they first started letting us wear pants to like Wednesday night service. That was a big thing. Y'all remember the long G skirts? Okay, I don't know if y'all grew up going to church on Friday night, but I did. And so the Friday night wear was the long jean skirt with the sneakers, and they would have on like the shirt or the hoodie or whatever. Fun times, fun times. Yes, men are visual, and people need to understand. Listen, I think I'm gonna bring my husband on here. I'm gonna try to get with his schedule because he had posted about this, about men being visual creatures and how looks are important to men. They notice these things. They can't help it. That's how we were supposed to entice them, with our looks. But y'all want to entice them and then send them away like a big old tease. And then you wonder why they don't want you. This discussion needs to be continued. Yes, ma'am. We're going to continue part 2 of this next week. We are. Paxton, ladies and gentlemen. Paxton is in the building. Come on over here so everybody can see you.
Guys, my second tooth fell out.
Yes, Atticus lost another tooth. So his 2 teeth on his 2 side front teeth here are gone. But he did get Star Student of the Month. Way to go, Atticus. No, Paxton. You got Star Student of the Year? That's what you got in the mail? All right, Paxton! Oh, you did? All right. Look, I'm so proud of these guys. Let me look. I'm very, very proud of them. They're doing great in school. I mean, it is amazing what they are doing. I'm so very proud of you guys.
Starting to kind of like Miss Nails.
You like Miss Neha?
Wait, Addie, do you have
Not looks, brains for me when it comes to sisters.
do you have
So are you saying looks don't matter at all? Sir, I can't tell what your name is. So are you saying looks don't matter at all? So I'm just saying, a man has never approached me and been like, I like the way you think. It's never. How do you know then how to approach a woman if it's not on looks?
I have Miss Burden.
Miss Burton. They talking about their teachers. All right, you guys. What? Y'all got anything to say before we wrap it up?
Never give up on your dreams and always do good on your schoolwork. And
The new Fortnite, another Fortnite season came out?
no, just like play the Star Wars upgrade.
Oh, play the Star Wars upgrade on Fortnite. Okay. All right.
And don't forget to smack Atticus on his mouth once you see him.
Oh my goodness, we're not doing that. All right, real quick. Brianna said, "Oh, hey, F3 announcement coming soon, guys. There's an F3 announcement coming soon. I wanted to give it to y'all today, but I can't. Oh, she said, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, looks don't matter conversation. He lying, looks matter. I mean, yo, a man has never, how do you even approach a woman? What do you do? Sit there and listen to her talk or something? Like, right, your brain is so sexy. Ooh, look at that big old head on you. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But we definitely are going to continue this conversation next week. Because I feel like, there's more to it. Also, I would like to share with you guys that my book, Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass, 8 Questions to Consider While Waiting, is now available on Amazon. Hold on, let me get the picture right. Okay, it's available on your Amazon Kindle. You can download the Kindle app. It is only $5. I'm just asking for a measly little $5 to go to support my efforts. Again, this in this book, I just pose some questions for sisters to consider before you even begin dating for marriage. Okay, before you even start dating for marriage, I encourage you, please just take a read, consider some of the questions. There's some Bible verses in there to kind of support what I'm saying and maybe lead you into more deeper study if you feel like you need it. Give it to a friend. You know what I'm saying? Read it for yourself. Please. It's on Amazon. It's available on Kindle, or you can download the Kindle app so you can read it on your phone if you don't have a Kindle. Okay. And you could just put Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass in the search and it should show up, or you can just put my name, Rayshannette Phillips, and it should pop up for you. Thank you in advance. Thank you to everybody who's already bought my book. Like when I went and checked the sales, I was like, oh, somebody bought my book. Okay. So thank you in advance if you already have purchased it, or even if you've just shared it. I appreciate you so much. Yes, go get the book. Go get the book. I've heard it's a good read. You know, I am working on my second book. Okay, but please, y'all, go ahead and get this one. What are you doing?
He doesn't know.
Okay, I don't think he know what he's doing either. Thank you so much, Bernard. I appreciate you. Listen, I've known for years that I was supposed to be a writer. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just at the point in my life right now, where I'm in a place of peace that I can exercise my gifts. And I have to thank my husband. I cannot thank my husband enough. Because if it wasn't for his hard work, I would not have the time that I have to homeschool my children, to care for our home, and to work on my gifts. So big shout out to the hubby. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like really, thank you. It is a blessing to be able to use your gifts and to see your talents come to life. So shout out to my husband. I couldn't do anything without him. I hope something that I said was helpful, whether you're listening live or on the replay. We are going to continue our modesty discussion next week and go into some other aspects of it. If there's some things you want me to add to the conversation, please drop me an email, missmanosworld@gmail.com. Send me a DM, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Please, I'll consider anything. You see any interesting clips or anything you think would, spice up the conversation, please send it to me. Get the book. Tomorrow, 8:00, Sabbath class with your man, my hubby, Monologue Magad. If you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube, MONOLOG MAGAD. What else? Is that it, right?
Atticus doesn't know how to look good. No, I got
Atticus
one more
looks
thing
great.
To say. I got one.
What? Hurry up. We gotta go.
Smash that subscribe button on our YouTube channel.
Smash the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. I hope something I said was helpful to you. On behalf of the entire House of Mono, we love you. We're praying for you. Please repent and turn away from your sins. Turn back to the Most High, guys. Listen, it's going up in the world, okay? It is going up. They elected a new pope. He's American, all right? I'm waiting for the analysis to come out. This is scary. Is this a first American pope? That's crazy. But we'll see, what analysts are saying about that and what the reporters say. So yeah, just get your house in order. Work on your own salvation with fear and trembling. We'll be back here next Thursday. Catch up with me in these internet streets. I love you so much. Shalom, shalom, and could y'all stop doing that? Paxton. Stop! Oh my gosh, that looks crazy. All right, y'all ready? Anything else? No? Okay, shalom, shalom, we love you. Good night.
Doing gang things.
Mono.
Living super clean. That it came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing.
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. Live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Maga. Now also available on Messiah TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz don't want your ass? Don't miss it, sisters and cousins.